tip.
Good afternoon. It is October 30th, 2019. You're listening to a Little Column A, Little Column B, hosted by William Nelson, co-hosted by Zach Bishop. How are you doing today, buddy?
What's going on, Will? It is the day before Halloween, and once again, I'm scrambling for a costume. Looks like all weekend there's going to be Halloween parties. Would have thought that after last year and the year before and the year before that I would have gotten my act together. I sure haven't. How prepared are you for Halloween this year?
I'll be honest. I don't think I'm doing it this year. It's the first year. I don't think I'm doing anything. I got the wedding. Ben's wedding is this weekend, and I mean we're gonna have a great time. Is a groomsman a costume? Does that count?
Suppose you are getting dressed up. That's something different that you don't normally wear.
I would not normally wear this. But that's kind of my weekend plans, and I didn't do anything last week. I don't know. Halloween for me, I feel like as I get older, my birthday kind of kicks off October, and then by the end of it, it's like, all right, I don't want to do that again. I don't want to do Halloween like that anymore. But I don't have anything planned. I probably do have an old costume in the closet somewhere. I think I had a sheriff costume from last year, so there is something if I need something. But I really, as of right now, with tomorrow being the day that I think I would wear a costume, it doesn't look like I have anything planned. So I'm very unplanned and unprepared. But it sounds like you got something prepared. What did you end up coming with for your costume?
So I got a couple of different things going on. I have the old standby. I got the security guard top, and so that's an easy one. You just get a hat, maybe some sunglasses, just regular pair of slacks with some shoes. Doesn't matter. Ooh, you're security. You're an enforcement. It's easy, but it's at least better than you didn't dress up. Like this was a Halloween party. You just didn't come in a costume. It's like, okay, you tried. You did something. All right, cool. So that's my backup plan if I can't follow through with what I'm looking to do. One of the reasons that I am a little extra excited for Halloween this year is because last year was right after I got the procedure done on my eyes. So I was kind of out of commission. So I didn't dress up. I didn't go out. I didn't really do anything. I was pretty laid up at the time. So this is like 2 years worth of Halloween that's kind of built up. So for tomorrow, the actual day, I work in an office building, so you can only do so much. And so a few years ago, my sister got me all the things I needed for a Dwight Schrute outfit.
Wait a minute. Who's that?
I was trying to think earlier this week. It's like, why didn't I wear this last year? Why would I have not done it? And then it hit me like, oh, that's right. Yep, you weren't at work. So I'm definitely gonna be wearing that to work tomorrow, and then probably wearing that out tomorrow night, and then Friday with a group of friends, we're trying to get the Letterkenny, the TV show Letterkenny group together, and I will be Derry. So I was able to get the mud boots. I was able to make the logo for the shirt that he wears, but he wears like a mechanic's onesie, like a coverall. And so I went to Goodwill today, could not find it, so I think I'm going to go to Walmart and see if I can find a navy blue version of that, and then I should be all set.
I think your odds of finding that are pretty good. I don't think that's the most desired costume. I think that's like everyone's backup last minute costume purchase would be like that overall jumpsuit kind of thing. So I actually think the odds of you pulling that off are pretty good. I worry about group costumes, especially in something I would say that's a little less popular. I mean, it's well known, I would say, but it's still a niche market. I wouldn't say like everybody. It's maybe in Canada everybody knows, but I wouldn't say everybody here knows. Do you think Letterkenny is Letterkenny that much more popular in Canada?
I have no idea.
I have no idea either.
I would think so, just because that's where it originated, but I don't know for sure.
I don't know. That'll be interesting. I do not have any costume plans at all, though. I don't know.
I think the payoff's going to be better.
Hearing you talk about it, though.
If you go something mainstream, you have the risk that somebody else is going to dress up like that, and they're going to do it better than you did. They're going to really go all the way in. You know, a Joker. There's for sure going to be a bunch of Jokers out again this year. And just, you could really get shown up. Where something like this, you do the group, and like you said, it's definitely not mainstream. It's a little off the beaten path. But when somebody sees you and recognizes it, they're going to be so excited where you see something like, oh, you're dressed up as the Joker. Okay, yep, I've seen 10 of those tonight. Cool. All right, move it along. So I think that it's gonna be worth the payoff for the smaller amount of people.
Doing it for the people. Do you ever worry about a group costume that if someone else doesn't do the group part, that you're gonna be slowly left out? Like you're trusting everyone else is gonna come through for you?
There's always a concern with that, but I think that the costume, like what if I get it all together, me wearing it, even if you look at you look at me, you'll know that I'm dressed up. Like there'll just be aspects of it of, okay, you're not just in a t-shirt and shorts and you're supposed to have like 3 other people like that and it's supposed to be whatever group. It's like, oh, okay, no, he's definitely something. Maybe I don't know what it is, but maybe it strikes up a conversation. Maybe it's a little bit of an icebreaker of like, hey man, like what are you dressed up as? And then it gets into it, and either they know it or they don't know it, and you get a good chance to recommend an excellent TV show to somebody.
All right. Well, while we're on the topic of Halloween here, are you planning on attending any haunted houses or doing any of those? I don't know, the scare rooms or what are the rides, the haunted house rides or whatever.
Room?
I don't know. They have the scare walk thing over here where you like walk through like a bunch of rooms and they're all like designed and people just jump out at you at every corner. I don't know. I think they call it a scare room. I think that's what it said. It's a room that you get scared in. Does that not sound? That sounds terrible. It's not something I would want to do. I don't know. Are you planning on doing any of that stuff?
That's exactly what I was thinking. That's exactly what I was thinking. That sounds terrible.
Some people like to be scared. I'm not one of those people. Are you one of those people?
Would you rather do? Would you rather be at the edge of a cliff or walk through a scare room?
I don't like heights a lot. The scare room, at least I know I'm at ground level. I mean, there's no desire to go to it. I don't like being on an edge either. Nobody wants to be on a cliff edge and cliffhanger. But while we're on the topic of haunted house, apparently there is a haunted house. I don't know. I imagine you know where it is, but it's requiring a bunch of waivers. All right, like a 40-page waiver kind of agreement that you need to fill out, as well as an actual physical exam. What is going on with this haunted house? What are you running into the jungle? Like what is this? Did you get actual people chasing you? Is there cardio involved?
Down in this is down in Tennessee, and like you said, there are a bunch of hoops you have to jump through. You have to sign a 40-page waiver. You have to pass a physical. You have to undergo a background check. You have to provide proof of medical insurance. You got to be 21 years old. And so you gotta do a lot of things, but if you complete it, the guy's gonna give you $20,000. No one's ever done this. No one's ever got through it all the way. I just don't know how that's possible.
So what do you mean complete it? Like when people just drop out by halfway through, they get too scared, they turn around.
So the way that it's described, and one of the things that that's also on the list of what you have to do is you have to watch a 2-hour video called "And Then There Were None," which features footage of every visitor from July 2017 to August of this year quitting before the end of the experience. There's a code phrase that they have to say, "You really don't want to do this." So I'm sure it's just over and over again, "You don't want to do this." So it's just telling you don't want to do this for 2 hours. So I'm wondering if that's kind of part of it to just set you in that sort of mood.
So how traumatizing do you think this actually is? Because it sounds horrendous. This sounds awful. This doesn't sound fun at all. It doesn't sound worth it.
There's something going on. It says that it's the key to inspiring terror is it's a mind game, and it says it with hypnotism. So like some sort of you get hypnotized, and so it just tricks you, and you just get in your own head so much. It said that he videotapes everybody because there's like a legitimate problem with this hypnotism that people think that they've seen or done things and go to like the police, and the police are coming over, and he said like several times he then shows them the video and says no, this is what happens. Like for example, like he says, I can put you in a kiddie pool with a couple inches of water and tell you there's a great white shark in there, and you're gonna think there's a shark in there.
I don't like this.
So
I don't like it at all. I
somehow
don't.
it's beyond just the I'm gonna call it the normal. You walk through, people jump out at you, they light up the chainsaw. Like there's something extra here, but I just can't imagine that there's just not some sort of tough guy that's like, I would like $20,000. I'm gonna go do this. Whether it's a a tough guy, there's a lot of wannabe tough guys, but there are some actual real tough guys that are real sharp, like Marines or whatever, that have been trained to not be you have your mind not be able to be bothered with like that. And I would just think that one of them would be able to go and be able to beat it, but apparently not in a couple of years. And $20,000, that's a lot of money. That's not like some of these other prizes that we've heard of, like, hey, yeah, you win, and your job is then you get to write for Disney and you get $1,000. Like $20,000 is a lot of money.
It's not nothing. But my thing is if you're going to be hypnotized, like they're going at such a psychological attack that you really can't prepare for that. I don't think anyone. It's not like you can prepare for someone to jump out around the corner or just to be like, hey, nobody's actually going to hurt you. You can walk through this whole thing. You're going to feel terrified. You're going to feel scary. But at the end of it, nothing's actually going to hurt you. I think when you go with more a psychological kind of attack like this, of an actual scare, you can't put that in your head now because you have something else that's kind of on your mind. And I always feel like this is an unfair thing. Like, you're signing up to fail. I don't think anyone should actually succeed at this. And if you do succeed, don't you think we should be asking this person a little bit more questions? Like, what's wrong with you? Or how are you able to do this? Like, I don't think I want someone to succeed on such a thing.
Why aren't you using your powers for good?
Anything. I don't know. You got to think you're kind of a psychopath at that point to be unaffected mentally.
Oh, if you do complete it. Oh, I thought you were talking about the guy that hosts it.
Oh, no. The guy that hosted, I think, is just knows the points of, I don't know, the mental mind, I suppose, of people's weaknesses or just how to. I think internally to screw people up, it wouldn't be that hard under hypnosis. You can find fears in people quickly. It's a lot of.
How much do you think the admission fee for this is?
$100.
The admission is a bag of food for his 5 dogs.
That's it? Oh, man.
That's it.
I don't like. All right. You know what? I don't like this guy anymore. He's not even doing this for the money. This just sounds like he's just enjoying torturing people.
Yeah.
But you know what? If that's what they want, I mean, can you really fault him?
Yeah, it's like it's like a thrill seeker, but it's just like a different type of thrill.
I don't understand the thrill. I would rather jump out of a plane. I'll be honest. I think that sounds like a lot more fun than this. And I don't like heights. We just talked about that.
I am not a fan of being scared. So this would definitely not be for me. I don't even like the haunted hayrides and people jumping out at you. It's just that it's not real, but just like I feel like I don't like being in that situation where you're not in control and it's not like you can't fight back because like like this is not real. That's a real person. You can't just like hit it. Like you can't do that. You just have to like sit there and let this happen to you. So no, this would not be in my wheelhouse. At work, there was a Halloween cubicle decorating contest, and a few people got really into it. And so there were all sorts of spiders and skulls and skeletons and a huge, big, creepy clown, and there was a projector. And it was just like you're just kind of looking around, looking over your shoulder a little bit.
Nope, passing on that. Nope, don't have any interest on it. I'm skipping Halloween this year altogether. This has turned me off on it. The fact that this guy's getting off on people just being terrified. Yeah, no, I'm over it. Halloween. Can we just call it November today? Can we just move on?
I don't think you're allowed to. I think you're sounding very old. I think you had your 30th birthday, and yeah, I think you're just up on the porch now.
I can't tell whether that's going to come to my benefit at some point or somebody's going to call us out of like, no, he's not 30.
What are you talking about? It was said on the podcast, and now it's been said on a second podcast. I think third time's the charm, and you have to legally change your ID.
I'm gonna mute you. It's gonna be bad. Your entire birthday, you're getting muted. I'll do the show on my own.
Then when you congratulate me on my 30th birthday, I'll pretend too, like, oh, haha, funny joke, Will. You made the joke, or I made the joke. Now you made the joke. That's gonna be fun. Can't wait.
We're not mentioning your birthday on the podcast. I'm not allowing it. we're gonna move on from that. You're gonna get a card full of glitter. It's gonna be great. All right, you're gonna love it.
No.
It's actually not gonna even be a card. It's just gonna be an envelope full of glitter. I think you'll know who it's from.
No return address.
I'll write something from some show. I don't know. Where does Dwight live? I'll put some address from The Office. Somewhere like Scranton or something. I don't know.
Lives on the farm. Everybody knows that. Fruit Farms.
Nobody,
right in the name.
Nobody knows that. And I don't know why you're looking all excited to be dressed up at Dwight at work. Nobody's gonna know who you are. Nobody's gonna know. Nobody watches that show.
I got a name tag. I went to.
Did he wear a name tag?
I went to but I went to a supplier today, and then they got visitor badges, and so it says visitor on it, and then it's got a name and then company. So I put White K Shrew, and then I put Dunder Mifflin on it. So
I hope you get escorted out by security, being like, "What are you doing? This is for employees only." They're gonna think you're a guest that's working at this place now.
I think it'll be okay. It's gonna be Halloween. I think you got a chance to get away with a little bit of something. Like I said, it's an office, so you can't go too crazy. But I think I'm right in the sweet spot.
Well, speaking of right in the sweet spot, we got a game 7 tonight.
Yes, sir.
And I will probably watch it. I'll be honest. Game 7, I don't care what sport it is. There's something exciting knowing this is it. Whatever happens today is the deciding factor, and these are the best of the best. And it's a sport that it's a sport. It's a competition. I think we should tune in. Are you going to tune in?
I'm going to tune in. That's funny. I thought when I was driving home and I put it on the list, I was like, well, one, I wonder if he's even going to bring it up, and two, I figured for sure he'd be like, it's baseball. Baseball's stupid. Your record's well known on your baseball thoughts. And my argument against that was going to be exactly what you said of Game 7. Like, this is the last game, one way or the other. And even if you don't have a real rooting interest, you're going to find something, and it's going to be exciting. There's a guy named Zach that's pitching, so that always grabs my attention. One of the real good players on the Astros, George Springer, he's from the Connecticut area. So I haven't met anyone that's been like, oh yeah, I know George, like we went to school together or whatever. But there's definitely been like, oh no, I remember when he was in high school and hearing about stuff. So there's definitely a little bit of some community pride there.
I'm not sure what team I'll be supporting tonight, but there's certain moments in sports that will stick with you, and there's certain elements that you need to brew that perfect storm of like an historic sports night, and the stakes got to be high, and it's got to be do or die, and that's what we're getting right now. So, if anyone else is not a baseball fan like us, I would still recommend you watch tonight's game, or I don't know, is it gonna be today's game in my time? I don't even know what time it's on.
It's on 8:00 Eastern on Fox, so this probably isn't super helpful for people because I think most people listen to it after the fact. But oh well.
Oh,
listen live.
It is
Boom.
live. We have
that segue. Give it.
We do have one live listen. We'd like to thank you for listening live. If anyone else would like to listen live, you can listen live at lcalcb.com. Check out all the old podcasts as well as learn a little bit about Zach and I on there. Don't be afraid to follow Zach on his Twitter, which is
Wicked Z-Man 24.
And check out Sold by Will for all your San Diego real estate needs. And that's the only plug we're gonna do the rest of the day. All right, let's. You know what? I feel like we always wait so late into the show to do this, but let's do the Zach sets the record straight a little bit earlier today because I feel like we've kind of been putting it on the back burner, and I'm feeling ready today. All right, I need a W. I'm getting a W. It's been a long time since I've gotten this right, but every week on the show here we play a little game show. Zach is going to let's get the music going here. Zach. Zach's going to read off 3 Guinness World Records. 2 of them will be true. 1 of them will be false. Name of the game is for me to figure out which one is false. So without further ado, Zach, tell us the first Guinness World Record.
Okay, the first one is Idaho man runs a mile while juggling blindfolded for record. He did that in 7 minutes, 54 seconds.
7-minute mile while juggling? Blindfolded.
Blindfolded. that's a lot of things. There's a lot of a lot of things all wrapped in one there. So
Okay.
yes,
All right.
runs a mile, under 8 minutes, juggling, blindfolded. That's just one. Number 2, Irish Town breaks record with 2,452 people dressed like Harry Potter.
All right. That seems doable.
Halloween time, right?
Wait, why do you say Irish Town? Does that mean so not in the States?
No, it's in Ireland.
Oh man. All right. So I don't know why, but I feel like that changes things a little bit for me. I don't know how popular. I guess it would be popular everywhere. I don't know. Anyways, go on to the next one.
And the third one is parade of 868 RVs certified as new world record. Exactly what it sounds like.
800
Well, Breaking Bad
RVs
for ya.
just driving down in a row sets the record for longest RV parade. All right.
So it forms nearly a 6-mile parade, and since the first one Idaho, clearly America, second one Irish, just want to make sure we're all on board, on the up and up here. This RV one is in an Australian town.
Again, I know so little about every other country. Maybe I should be much more familiar with other cultures. And I feel like it's at a disadvantage right now because I'm going to be very judgmental of being like, where do they have the space to do this 6-mile or whatever RV parade? And does anyone in any other country actually care about Harry Potter?
Well, that the author of Harry Potter is not American, right?
I didn't know that. I was just about to ask that. I was like, is she even American?
No, she's British.
Oh man, I
don't
know.
Much closer to Ireland.
All right, so
I think that's a global phenomenon.
I don't know. I watched the movies. I didn't read the book. I'm the wrong person to be commenting on Harry Potter. The first one seems so ridiculous that it's true. It also seems like he had to do like one extra thing to separate his record from anything else. Like somebody already did a 7-minute mile juggle, and he had to do it blindfolded to change it up or something. Like that was the one little element he had to change to make the record his own. And that sounds doable. That sounds like something, if we were to go for a world record, we would just tweak one little thing and then just do the same thing someone's already done. So for whatever reason, I believe that one. I'll believe the Harry Potter one. I'm gonna go false on the RV parade. I don't know. I have no. Oh god damn it! I hate this game. I changed it up. I've always been picking the first answer for the past whatever weeks, and then today I said, you know what? We'll change it up.
See, you were in my head a little bit earlier today, and was like, he's been mentioning he's always picks the first one. He's always picks the first one. How can I get him to not pick it? And then it's like, you know what? I think he's gonna pick the first one again. Will is nothing but consistent. So I'm surprised that you went off script and didn't pick the first one.
I thought the first one sounded the most plausible. All right, these world records, there's millions of them and dozens of them and stuff happening every second. That seemed like one would be easy to find online and that you would bring onto the show. Like, all right, this is a weird guy. He did this, and he did this, even though someone else has already done exactly that. Is that one false? Is that the false one? Tell me that one's not the false one now.
That one's true.
That one's true. All right, so it is the Harry Potter one. All right, what's wrong about the Harry Potter one? What's not true about it? Or did you just make it up altogether?
It wasn't that many people. Do you think it was more people or less people?
I guess more. And now that I'm so unfamiliar with the author now, so I'll go the over.
It was only 1,080. I thought that was low.
Oh man, that I don't know. That does seem low. I just think at like Universal Studios and like the Harry Potter world over there in Orlando, like that alone, I think you could get like 1,000 people dressed exactly like that.
Right
there, and that wouldn't be an issue.
So that's why I changed that one, because I was like, oh, I can over double this number, and that'll still seem plausible. Maybe because it's just Harry Potter, it's not Harry Potter characters. But yeah, I agree that I would think that in Orlando you could do, hey, today is specifically dressed like Harry Potter Day, and we're gonna set the record, and like it would not take much for them to set that record. Maybe,
I bet
maybe
tomorrow
once it gets a little more attention, maybe they'll do that.
I bet tomorrow, if you went to Universal tomorrow, you would probably come close to that record. of just
You
random
might
people.
find more people dressed as Harry Potter just that happen to be dressed like that at Universal tomorrow
Yeah. Oh
on
no.
Halloween.
Anyways, great job setting the record straight. We play Zach sets the record straight every week. I have not won in. We act like it.
Months.
We act like it's a game, but if I never win, is it really a game or is it just like a downer for
I don't
me?
know. I think you're just really bad, and I'm really good. I don't think you've won since football started. Maybe you're just distracted.
Oh, well, on that note, do you want to talk some football? I actually
Maybe
messaged
we
you.
need before you move on. Maybe we need to bring in somebody
I need to phone a
to
friend.
play in your spot. Do you think maybe that the listeners are thinking that we're faking it?
No, I think they generally don't have that much confidence in my
Do you
Guinness World
think
Record knowledge.
do you think that the listeners play at home, and do you think that they do better, or I guess they can't do worse than you did, but do you think what do you think their percentage is?
It's the same. It's random. There's no. I honestly, I strongly believe there's no way you could be good at this. If there's somebody out there who actually thinks they're good at this, by all means, bring them on the show. We could pre-record it off air. We could do it live. I don't care. I'm telling you, they will struggle just as much as me. I like to think I have a good general knowledge around the world, even though I struggled with some of the foreign ones here. Uh, but I would challenge that nobody else would really know that much more than me on these. Like I just think they're that random. There's no reason to know that average Joe ran a mile in Idaho blindfolded while juggling and did it under 8 minutes. That sounds plausible. That just sounds like all right. Yeah, there's some weird guy somewhere that does that. I don't know. Maybe I'm under the impression that there is someone somewhere breaking some weird record for no reason at all other than self benefit. Just wants to feel good about themselves, and that makes every record plausible.
All right, yeah, I can talk some football now.
Oh no! Now you're ready. All right. You want to talk some Miami Dolphins?
Sure. What do you want to talk about the Dolphins?
I don't know. I hear they're playing the Jets really soon, and they're getting real nervous about that.
Oh, they are?
I actually think Miami may be favored in one of these games.
No, I don't think so.
They're reloading. Miami is not the same team they were week one.
What do you mean they're reloading? They traded away their running back. They are for sure tanking. I think the Washington game showed that where they ran some real squirrely stuff. So I think even if they're in a close, I think they have to be up by a bunch to not do the. I mean, it's more seen in basketball of the coach just maybe keeps those second string guys in just a little bit too long, and then darn it, guys, we were so close.
I would hate to make this such a Patriots segment, so let's try to talk about some other teams here. We have one undefeated team in the NFC with the Niners. Are they for real? Are you buying into this? Do you think that defense is good? Do you like this running back by committee? This Jimmy Garoppolo guy we're pretty familiar with. I don't. It's amazing to me that they still haven't lost a game, and the Patriots haven't lost a game, but the Patriots haven't lost a game strictly on schedule. I don't really hear a lot of people mentioning that with the Niners. I think a lot of people are just saying they got lucky. I don't know. I think we should start buying in. I don't have any reason not to. Are you buying in on the Niners? I think they're legit at this point. I mean, we're hitting the midpoint this week, right? What is it, week 8? The following week
coming
was
up on week 9.
Week 9. It'll be week 9. So we're right here at the midpoint, depending on buys.
Yeah.
You go half the year undefeated.
I'd say
right?
they're legit. Their defense is definitely for real.
Yeah, the Bosa.
They're not putting up the historical numbers that the Patriots are, but I don't know how much of that is just the teams the Patriots have been playing, as well as sometimes the turnover luck just kind of goes your way, and it can very quickly just not go your way. If we don't get those 3 turnovers back to back to back on the Browns this week, I think it's a vastly different game. So I think they're for real, and if I'm not mistaken, well, the 2 teams play each other.
Yeah. I mean, or you could argue that the Patriots really get their first challenge of the year this week, and that really depends on how you feel about Baltimore. But I think it'll be a challenge. I think Lamar Jackson is somebody. I don't care how good your defense is. There's not another guy that can really do what he can do with his feet. Right? He's going to be running. I think running quarterbacks makes it a million times harder to defend them. He doesn't exactly have the receivers that I would be scared of, but when you're on the move, you're able to make things happen that nobody else can really practice or prepare for. So I think this will be a good challenge for them. Are you nervous?
Is there? Uh, no, I'm not nervous. The Ravens, because even if we lose, even if say we get blown out and we lose by 20 points, and now we're 8-1. I mean, we're still first in our in our division. It would even be like the worst thing if we lost. I can easily see Belichick pulling one of these games to set everybody back up and saying, hey, you know what? Just because you're undefeated doesn't mean that you're Super Bowl ready. Here's a little gut check. Here's a little bit of head games. But I think the stat was, and it may have been updated. I'm not sure if this is updated for last week, but the Patriots with Belichick are like 21 straight wins against quarterbacks either in their rookie year or their second year, and Lamar Jackson's in his second year. So I think that goes our side, but Ravens have never been scared of us, and it's even at their place. I mean, they're not scared to come to Foxborough, as I think some other teams get kind of in their head. So that part, I think they're definitely going to be ready to go. Where some other teams might get a little more psyched out. They'll for sure be ready to go, and looking forward to a fun game, Sunday Night Football.
Yeah, no, that's gonna be cool. I'm looking forward to it. I mean, I love when the Patriots win, but it doesn't. Did you feel like you've watched a Patriot game this year?
What do you mean?
It just doesn't. The defense spots us 20 points every game, and it feels like, all right, yeah, well, cool, we're getting spotted 20 points, and those are fun to watch and all that. But it's almost like it's not real football when you're already up 20, or if you're favored by that much, or if you're that much better, or if you're playing Miami, who's intentionally trying to lose. It's not really like watch. Like I want to watch these guys in a game. We watch them in the Super Bowl, we watch them in the playoffs, and they do have some dominant performances. But for the most part, I love watching Brady operate in 2-minute drill, down 3, down 4, down 7. I don't care. I want that to happen. All right, I want another close game. I I want my blood pressure to go up and to get all sweaty and stressed. All right, I haven't had that happen this year. All right, I need to prepare myself for the playoffs so that I'm ready for it. I need a couple games, and I think this team needs a couple of those games as well. We're
Yeah, I get what you're saying now. Of okay, it's the fourth quarter. We're down 10. All right, Brady's got to do stuff now, rather than we've been playing with the lead, and so it's just kind of the defense has just been unreal. Best fantasy football player. I think I saw. I don't think it was Matthew Berry, but like in that Matthew Berry ESPN fantasy universe, where they had looked at the percentage of teams that if you had a player, what position you were in, and if you had the Patriots, you average being in like third place, and that was like the best team / player you could have. Everything else you were worse than third place, like on average.
they're a cheat code. You should get 10, 12
It
points out of
really
your
is
defense.
at this point. Like they score a touchdown, at least one touchdown every week. They have multiple turnovers. They're not giving up many points.
No,
It's an unreal number, and I'm hoping that it's for real and it's not it's not a mirage and just some turnover luck. Which
well,
I mean, last week 3 consecutive plays for turnovers.
well, it's such an exponential thing though that once you score off a turnover, the offense and defense are the same teams are coming right back out again. All right, they're gonna get a second crack at it. But now you're down even more, and you got to throw the ball. You got to take more chances because you're down more. And the more chances you take, the more likely turnovers are going to happen. And then the more you got to take even more chances, and they get even more turnover. It just compounds to a point of like, yeah, of course we're scoring kind of points like that. But again, we have not faced anybody that I would say would. I mean, the Bills are good. I'll give the Bills one. I think the Bills are solid. I actually think the Bills should be the favorite for the wild card right now. I think they got a decent defense. I think they're holding things together. I don't think anyone wants to go play in Buffalo. I think that's a tough place to play, so they should hopefully hold out in some home games. But outside of that, I mean, people have been making fun of my Patriots schedule already all year out here. Of like, yeah, it's a joke. And it really is. It really has been a joke. So hopefully the joke comes to an end this weekend, and we get an actual game with some real football teams out there.
See, people have been saying that, and I get what they're saying, but think about in the past of your schedules are all over the place. But usually in September and October, that's almost still like our preseason game. It's in November and December when we really ratchet it up. So I'm thinking even if we play better teams, like this is when we really start to lock in, and we know what we're doing. So I think we could still go up a level against these, especially against these better teams.
Hey, I hope so. If we want a shot at winning it, we have to. Like you said, every year that we've been in the Super Bowl or have gone far in the playoffs, we kind of turn it on week 10. Week 10, it's like, all right, this is win or die right now. All right, this is playoff season starting right now from here on.
Yeah, well, once Halloween hits, the games after Halloween.
Yeah, so we're here right now. So we're
Yep.
midway through the NFL season. We could do some predictions right now if you have any, but really I just want to hear what is your biggest surprise of the season thus far? We're halfway through. Patriots are undefeated. Niners are undefeated. Let's see what do we got for other. The Packers are 7-1. The Saints are 7-1 and survive a Drew Brees injury, of which Bridgewater just slides in there and gets the job done no problem. I thought that was pretty surprising. In terms of teams struggling, I think Cleveland's season. I mean, I know we're only halfway there, but that sounds like that ship has sank already. At least that's the way they're acting about it. I would say that was a surprise.
Not super surprised about the Cleveland thing for our preseason predictions where we predicted the playoffs. I did not predict them into the playoffs, so was like I said, still it's only midway through the year. Things could change, but definitely was not as high on them as other people were. So for surprises, definitely surprised about where Green Bay is after losing to the Bears in that first game, where it was not an exciting, fun game to watch. If it was the only redeeming quality about it was the first game of the year, so it was just awesome football. I'll take anything, and it's like, man, not really a lot of scoring. Like it's gonna be better than this, right? And like, oh yeah, it'll definitely be better, and it got better. So just kind of thinking, ooh, all right, maybe things aren't quite working, and now they're Aaron Rodgers has been unreal, and yeah, the second one would be the Saints losing Drew Brees and not losing any ground. Teddy Bridgewater did a great backup job, and now Drew Brees is back, and so they're ready to jump right back in it. So definitely would have, if you had told me that Drew Brees was going to miss significant time, would have said, ooh, all right, well they're going to be behind the eight ball a little bit. And not even just that, Kamara's been out for 2 games now, and they're still just trucking along.
And they do not have Mark Ingram anymore. I think that's a big loss. They're Latavius Murray holding it down. I think that's where you have to applaud coaching at this point, right? Like this is everybody's all in on Belichick or like next guy up. Well, you know what? Sean Payton just mastered that. If not, like that's awesome. That's the difference. I think that's what really separates all these teams. A couple other teams I'd like to shout out. The Colts 5-2, hanging in there, man. There's easily 5 games they could have lost of those wins. Like they could have just blew every one of them. They've had some really tight games that they just hang in there, and at the end they're able to make a play and they get a win. And I think some credit should be thrown out for that. So I'll throw out a shout out to them. And then another surprise, and I didn't expect much out of them, but Atlanta is 1-7. I didn't have that happening. I didn't think they were going to be great, but I thought it would at least be you should be scared of Atlanta of scoring a bunch of points on you every week, and they still might. I just didn't think 1-7 was the true reality of this team. But what kind of changes did they make to this roster? I feel like they're still running that Super Bowl roster out at people that didn't win a couple years ago, and it's just aged poorly.
I'm definitely still tricked by them. Of pretty much should have won the Super Bowl, and then last year it was like, okay, yep. They should be right in that area again, and then they weren't. It's like it's just a funk. You get beat in the Super Bowl like that, it just takes a year to recover. And then this year, no recovery's happened yet.
I don't know what happened there. I don't even know who to point the finger at. It just seems like suddenly you realize that your roster was evaluated the wrong way. Like you just don't have the weapons there. They just don't. I don't think I'm scared of anything on that team. Julio's fantastic and. Hopefully he's able to get out of Atlanta, or hopefully they're able to turn it around next year. I mean, we see this all the time in NFL years where you can be really bad one year and suddenly in the playoffs the next. Like this is an easy turnaround league. I didn't see them. They're bad. They're bad. They're really bad right now.
Yeah.
So those I would say those are my big surprises for the NFL. We're halfway there. Would you say the Patriots and Niners are the favorites in those conferences? or are you picking
Definitely,
someone else? You're not going with anyone else?
definitely.
No love for. I mean, I guess you kind of have to, but no love for the Packers or the
They're
Saints.
undefeated. They haven't lost yet.
All right. Well, I'm giving you a chance to do the eye test. Right. That's what separates us from the numbers. All right. You want to do a little eye test? You're still going with the Niners?
Yes. Yeah, I'm gonna stick with them.
I kind of like the
If someone proves me
Saints.
differently,
I kind of like the
like the
Saints.
Saints.
That's an awesome, well coached team getting the job. I mean, a team that can get the job done with injuries. Just imagine when they come back healthy. I just think that's enough firepower. That's enough experience. It's not like they've never done it before. I don't know what their schedule is going forward, but I would not want to play the Saints. I'll put that out there. I'd say those are our predictions and on some of our surprises thus far, halfway through the NFL year, which has been great. We also do have basketball. We're full swing NBA mode right now, which has just been pure chaos every night, and I love it. I love it. I feel like I'm watching a marquee matchup every night. The only matchups I'm not able to watch is the stupid blackout rules. I can't get any of the Clipper games, which is on my local channel in San Diego. I it keeps getting blacked out. I gotta find a way around that. But that has been fantastic thus far. Any surprises or standouts in the NBA so far this year?
Can we talk about the negative of kind of along those blackout lines first?
Oh, absolutely. You want to rant about cable companies? By all means, go for it.
Well, not so much cable companies because I'm okay with that. You just started talking basketball, and I just threw the Knicks game on because I'm out here in Connecticut, near New York, and I am able to watch the Knicks and the Nets. Not quite the Lakers and the Clippers for star power, but I'm able to watch it. It's not blacked out. My issue is with NBA League Pass. NBA League Pass, it's so close. It's so close. They had the free trial, and it's so much fun to just be like, I'm just watching NBA tonight. That's what I'm doing. I'm not doing anything else. I'm gonna sit there. I'm just gonna watch it until my eyes bleed. And you just go from one game to the next. Ooh, this game's close. Oh, something's fun happening in this game. Switching back and forth, no problem. It Chromecast to the TV pretty easily. But man, it just does not play smoothly. It's constantly refreshing. And this is not a free service. This is not. YouTube is much better than that. YouTube is practically flawless, and I'm just talking about regular YouTube. You throw a video on, nothing you even pay for. So it's a free service. An NBA League Pass, it's not cheap. It's like $250 for the year. If
You
I'm
don't even
paying
get all the
that, I want
teams.
this thing to work. I want this to work flawlessly.
Well,
And so it was cool with the trial. Trial ended yesterday, and yeah, so I'm not gonna purchase it, but I think they really got to make this a priority to get this fixed. I think they're leaving a bunch of money on the table.
I mean, I think we would probably be in the target market of contemplating purchasing the pass if it was an effective app. It's just there's nothing worse than when something you paid a lot of money for just doesn't work. And I've had this happen with that app. And every trial we do at the beginning of the year, we constantly run into hiccups and problems. And I feel like I don't know if do they play an ad when you purchase it before you can watch it, or is that just during the trial that you get that one ad when you open it?
Oh, I'm not sure, but yeah, that was annoying. Where when you switched a game, if I switched it while it was Chromecasted, it would switch over right away. But if it was on my phone, it played a 30-second ad. And pretty much the only time I can think to be like trying to switch back and forth quick is at the end of a game where 30 seconds is kind of important.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I mean we've ranted about this app before. It's the problem. And the worst part about it, it's not even a money thing.
It'd be something that, the technology has progressed where you'd be able to figure this out. And with NBA Reddit kind of not kind of getting shut down out of the picture, you would think there'd be more people interested in saying, oh, yeah, you know what? That's how I kind of got into the NBA and watching it illegally. You know what? I got some money now. Cool. I'm down with paying for this service. But when the service works worse than the free service you were using, it's just baffling and just super frustrating.
The worst thing about the League Pass though is even if you did buy it, any game that's on TNT, ESPN, NBA TV is not included in your package. And then for me,
and then for you,
and your
for
regionality,
you would be the Lakers and the Clippers games.
Yeah. Yeah,
which a lot of those games are going to be on nationally televised. But I agree. Yeah, that's going to be tough. I don't know exactly because that's a lot of networks and a lot of big money getting thrown around there. So I don't see that changing anytime soon. But I asked you the question earlier this week if you thought that in the next 5 years League Pass would just be free. And what are your thoughts there?
uh I got a hard time thinking it'll ever be free. I do think the app will eventually be better and it'll be focused on, and we'll probably get like a mobile only version. There may be even a mobile only version right now. I just this would be the year to do it. Like this would have been an awesome year for this to be like an affordable package with a kick-ass app that everybody loved. Because like you said, these past couple of days, there's been close games every night, and we've tuned in to just about all of them because it's easy, it's free. You know, you just go back and forth on the app. But the app only worked well for me on the Roku. It did not work well on the phone at all, which seems so backwards to me that I doubt they didn't have any Roku testing. I like to think they would spend all their time on mobile testing, and like that was the issue. But I guess I could see it. I suppose the more eyes on your product, the more eyes is better, right? More eyes on your ads.
That was my thought. Was they're gonna figure out, yeah, this is a stream of revenue, but if we remove this barrier and just allow everyone, wherever you are, people get more spread out and get more interested, and it seems like definitely still football, baseball it's really gone away from, but like Celtics are playing tonight, but they didn't play. They played I think Sunday or Saturday, but like they've had some time off, and I've still watched a bunch of basketball. I mean, we're talking about like tonight. Maybe we're gonna watch Game 7 of the World Series, but like, our teams aren't playing in it. I don't know, but it's like first week of the year for basketball. Like, yeah, sure, I'll check it out. Yo, we got this available. And it just seems like you'd be better off to just give it away for free, have more people exposed to it, more people buying tickets to the game, more people. You're seeing the ads. I think the ads are just that seems to be what's driving all the majority of the revenue. And I think that's just gonna be the way to go. Just more eyeballs.
I got no problem with it. I would say the only thing I would argue with all of this is we may be left in the dark, and maybe a lot of people are buying League Pass. Maybe the cost of it isn't an issue for a lot of people. Maybe they are still making money off of it, where it's like, all right, why are we going to spend more time onto this when we're getting what we wanted out of this already? Obviously, you'd always want more, but it doesn't seem like they're super motivated for that right now.
Yeah, that just seems just poor planning of, well, we're still kind of making money on it. It's just you got to be always thinking towards the future.
Yeah. I don't know. It's ridiculous. It needs to be improved. Speaking of improvements, you can get apparently in Hong Kong there was a parking space that was sold for $1 million. Am I reading this right, or did I write this wrong? Did I write this down wrong?
No, that is correct.
What are you getting for $1 million parking spot? And is this like the only parking spot in the city? I guess
It's not the only spot in the city, but this kind of gives you an idea of how badly people want parking spots and how few of them there are, and the whole supply and demand. It's just under $1 million. It's $970,000. And
damn, that's a lot.
obviously the most expensive parking spot in the world. It was sold to a guy named Johnny Chang Shun Yi. He's a businessman. Kind of obviously can't just be a kind of a regular guy to buy. That's not even a car. That's not a building. That's just a spot. The spot is in an office building where he works, or well, he flips properties. So I'm not sure if that's where he works or that's his work. You know what I mean?
All right, so is this just purely a location thing? Like it's just a convenience of him, or is there a view? Is there security? I don't know. I'm just trying to think of like what sort of amenities. If I'm paying for $1 million for a parking spot, I want it to be like a private garage somewhere. Like it's just one spot reserved for me, and I don't know. It's got to be it's got to be the next level luxury. And I'm just wondering if they got anything near that included in this spot.
It very much seems to just really be a parking spot,
It's very much just location
and
then, essentially. Like this is
and
convenient for
it's
somebody
just
to be.
a the managing director at the of the building owner just says, to these tycoons, it's not a significant purchase if you compare it to the value of the office floors they own. So basically, it's like once you buy the TV, buying the good remote to go with that TV is basically just chump change to you.
That, I don't know. It's hard for me to put that. I got a hard time paying $10 for parking like downtown in the garage. All right, this guy's cashing out on $1 million for a lifetime spot. I don't know about that. I got a problem with this. I mean, this just really just sounds like somebody that has more than enough money. They don't know what to do with it, like that kind of thing. Like they just made too much money. Where this is just like, yeah, all right, that's what that costs. Sure, I sounds like it makes sense. I need a parking spot. Is parking that bad over there? It has to be, right?
Yeah, yeah, and it's also kind of points out the it says that there's a lot of protests going on about the income inequality, and this kind of points it out of even in Manhattan, $1 million might buy you a one bedroom apartment, but here it's only buying you a parking spot.
So what's the most you would pay for a parking spot? Is there any scenario where you would actually purchase a spot?
Well, where I park now is free.
Oh,
The
on the
only thing I
road,
can
yeah.
think of, the only thing I can think of would be if there was some spot in New York City and it was like an investment where it's you buy a spot for $10,000, but you're able to charge $100 a day, and so you're able to do the math and figure out, okay, after X amount of days at this amount, you run all the numbers and figure out, okay, this could be an investment property. But I don't know how you do that with one spot. I think the more traditional route would be have a parking garage or have a parking lot. But one individual spot, I mean, that would be interesting for someone to do if you owned a parking garage to sell the spots out to people.
Do you think you used a realtor for this? Is that something I need to add to my resume? Like experience with parking spots, a lot of
I don't know,
parking sales.
might be a niche market. I know out in San Diego, parking get tough sometimes.
Hey, damn, $1 million a spot. Damn, man, that's a solid commission. Even even if it's a standard commission, that's good. That's fantastic.
Don't
Uh,
really have to worry about pictures so much. Don't have to worry about anything really going wrong. Like, oh, what about the water here? It's just like, hey, yup, there's a spot. Yup, it's here. Yup, $500,000. Any more questions? No. All right. Yep. Get back to me when you got the money.
no, I don't know. I got a problem with all that. This is too much. It's ridiculous. I'm not doing that. I don't want anyone else to be doing that. I don't, but it's an outrageous. It's an outrageous number. You could easily told me that was like a world record right there. Like that's the most money a parking spot ever went for.
Makes us seem like real peasants that we won't buy a NBA League Pass for $250, right?
I thought it was more than that. It's not more than that. It depends which.
I thought 250 was the highest one. I thought 200 was all the teams, but you had commercials, and 250 was where it plays uh, the 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 jumbotron pretty much.
Oh, I didn't know. I didn't see. I didn't even bother looking at the packages this year because I just know it's just not worth it because I'm gonna get more frustrated that the app doesn't work and that I spent the money on it.
See, I was really because I was looking at it because it was like, oh yeah, NBA, fantasy. It just been waiting all summer for basketball to come back, but then I know next week college basketball is going to start, so that's going to be competing for my attention. And there's constantly college basketball on ESPN, Fox, FS1, FS2 that I can get free. So I can kind of get my basketball fix if I just wait a week. So that's the route I'm gonna go.
Well, anyways, let's wrap up the show here. I want to wish everybody thank you for listening and a happy Halloween tomorrow. And if you're listening to this tomorrow, hopefully it was a hell of a World Series if you tuned in for that. Game 7 tonight. I'm trying to hype it up. I'm trying to hype it up so I can get into it. You know, I need like a hype man for that. You want to be the hype man for me? You want to tell me, sell me on the World Series tonight? What am I looking for?
Game 7. That's all you need to hear. Best 2 words in sports.
Yeah, you know what?
Someone's going home tonight. Someone worked all year to get right to the very end and is gonna go home a loser. And the other team, they're gonna celebrate. There's gonna be champagne. Baseball does some of the best celebrations.
Hey, you know what? Everyone enjoy Game 7 tonight, and we'll be back here next Wednesday to not talk about the recap because we're sorry, we're just not that show. Unless it's something historic. I don't know.
Something might happen.
Maybe it will. And the only way to find
girls,
out. Oh yeah,
some
I
girls
saw that.
flashed the pitcher a couple games ago. Who knows what's gonna happen in this game?
All right, does that make you more likely to watch or less likely?
It doesn't make me less likely to watch.
Did you look into that story? I debated whether or not we were going to talk about that today, and I just felt like I don't know if these people deserve our attention right now. They seem like they're doing just fine, and I don't think there's any good about talking about it. Like, what?
I think they're getting all the attention that. Yeah, I think you're right. I think they're getting all the attention they need, and they don't need any help from us.
I don't think they need any help from us. I don't even know where to go with that. That was such a strategic thing too. I don't know. I feel like I would have more problems with that if the more we talked about it. It's not going to lead to anything good. But yeah, they got a hell of a following. Anyways, one last time here, make sure you check out the website, lcalcb.com. Listen to all the old podcasts. Learn a little bit about Zach and I on there in the bio. And check out Zach's Twitter, which is
Wicked Z-Man24.
And Sold by Will for all your San Diego real estate needs. Even if they're $1 million parking spots, I will help you find the spot. Is that going to be my new tagline?
That's the kind of service that he provides.
Yeah, that's going to be the new tagline. All right, we'll be back next Wednesday, record live. Thank you for everyone for listening.
Little column A, little column B.